Session 4, Community History and Resilience. Tonight's activities focus on the history of your community. You'll be watching a video on your community's history and taking a look at your community's responses to the challenges and changes that have emerged over the years. Participants will discuss Indigenous social movements and think about their role in today's culturally diverse world. The elder will give a teaching that draws from their own life in the community, which will lead into a discussion about the community's history. Finally, we'll continue the Tree of Life activity, and youth will work on drawings that they'll assemble into a paper quilt. This session starts as usual, by getting together and welcoming participants to today's activities. You can briefly introduce the theme of today's session, community history and resilience. Invite the elder to conduct whatever ceremony, protocol, or acknowledgements are appropriate for the session. You can budget about 10 minutes for this portion of the program. After the opening is mealtime. If you decide that it's appropriate, you can ask the elder to bless or give thanks for the food. Invite families to serve themselves and give priority and assistance to elders and anyone who might need extra help. Make sure that everyone lends a hand to clean up. In total, the meal should take about 30 minutes. Once you've finished eating and cleaned up, you'll be collecting feedback on the last session from participants. This should take about 10 minutes and involves asking the group the following questions. What do you remember from last week's session? You can also review the take-home activity with them and say something along the lines of, "This session will look at our local history. Last week we asked you to find out the meaning of places in our region and to translate community names from your traditional language to English. Would anyone like to share what they learned?" After reviewing the take-home activity, you'll be showing participants a video on the community's history. Set up the video for everyone to see and encourage participants to answer the history worksheet in their booklets while they watch. Emphasize that this is not a test and that you'll review the answers as a group after watching. After the video is ended, go through the answers using the answer key found in the manual and lead participants through a brief discussion. You can ask them how they felt about the video or ask them if they learned anything new. In total, this segment of the session should take about 20 minutes. Next, the elder speaks. This week's teaching should support the material from the video you just watched with participants by drawing from the elder's own experience of the community's history. Please talk with the elder about their contribution ahead of time and provide them with the resources available in the program materials. After the elder speaks, invite participants to share their thoughts in the elder's words, using the discussion cues from the manual if necessary. In total, set aside about 20 minutes for the elder's talk and the discussion that follows. Once the discussion wraps up, you'll lead participants through a quilt activity. Guide the group through the prompts found in Section 5 from today's session in the manual. You'll be asking participants to draw people, events, or landmarks that represent meaningful moments in the community's history. In the last 10 minutes of this activity, gather participants together and assemble all the drawings together as a quilt. Participants can briefly explain what their drawing represents. In total, you can schedule about 25 minutes for this portion of the session. If you're holding 2.5-hour sessions, take a look at the relevant pages at the end of Session 4 for a printout of the Sacred Tree story and for instructions on obtaining or designing puzzles for this activity. Session 4 comes to a close after the optional puzzle activity. We recommend that you thank participants for their presence and let them know that you're looking forward to seeing them at the following session. Next, explain the take-home activity, which asks participants to monitor the connections between their emotions and the different situations they experience during a day. Finally, you can lead participants through a relaxation exercise or ask the elder to offer a closing word or observe any other meaningful practice. Please keep in mind that this video is only a summary of the session. Make sure to read the detailed description in the manual